Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, visiting Parkway Hyundai, and I'm checking out a 2020 Hyundai Venue in the SEL trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 205/55 Nexon tires wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels with a gloss gray finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Intense Blue. And it has a little bit of a metal flake to it. Hopefully you can see here the sun shining on it. It's a really nice looking blue. In the grille, you can see a little bit of sparkling going on because it has these pieces here that are separated from the actual grille. The background is flat black, and then you have these pieces here, like a smoked chrome, I guess you can say. You have a gray portion right here, separated by the flat black. There's a little airflow port here on either side, for both sides to go in the wheel wells for an air curtain. And the headlights are powered by LEDs and projector tubes for your low and your high beams, black bezels, and LED daytime running light surrounds. Turn signals are up here at the top, and they're powered by standard bulbs. Looking at the profile, you can see it has these little side markers here, which is pretty cool. And the black portion, flat black, goes around the wheel wells and here at the bottom. And it has little mud flaps here and here as well. Now the handles and the side mirrors are body colored. And then you have the flat black here in the center pillar, kind of solidifying the glass, especially if you're going to tint the glass. And there at the top, the roof rails are like a silver color right up in here. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key system. And this is designed to where you can just put this in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. It does have a lock and unlock and a remote start though, which I would use all the time. And the panic button or horn, so we can just go ahead and hold that down. It has like a beepy horn, but it's very loud and strong, so that's interesting. Now it also has a physical key on the inside. You can take it out using that little switch in case you need it. But as long as you have the key with you, it could be in your pocket, in a bag. As long as it's within a close proximity to the outside of the door, you can push this button to lock it. And it has one electronic beep. To unlock it, you push the button again, and it has two beeps letting you know now it's unlocked and allows you access to the vehicle. In order to use the physical key, you will need to slide this little plastic cover here off, and then there's a place to put the key in. Looking at the inside of the passenger side door, sort of point out there's very few soft touch surfaces in this vehicle, so this door just kind of shows that it's hard touch all around. Even your armrest is hard touch. It's all hard plastics. Now this is enclosed where you could use that as a pocket, and then you have a pocket there at the bottom. And the window sticker basically says interior color gray. So you can see there's black as well, but that's what it says on the window sticker. And you see the doors actually go almost all the way down to the bottom, but not quite, but it does help out with keeping the threshold somewhat clean. So that's nice. Manually adjusted seat here on the passenger side. Cloth with contrast stitching there. Some texturing and a little bit of a pattern there on the cloth in the center portion. Now plenty of legroom here in the front, and let me go ahead and put the seat all the way back to give you an idea visually of what it looks like. A little bit of tapering here on the right side, right in here. But overall wide open, and it does kind of sink down in the floor a little bit, so that way gives you a little bit more legroom, so you can see the seats a little bit higher than the rest of the floor. Floor mats are a Berber type material, and they do hook in place here. Once again, all hard touch surfaces, even the dashboard. Now the dash is a non-reflective surface. Little storage cubby right in here, which is nice, so you can get in the vehicle, throw some stuff in there, kind of a quick access spot. And then your glove compartment is here. It's all smooth plastic on the inside. Backdoor styling, similar to the front, all hard plastics. You can see there's a significant hurdle to get over to get in and out of the vehicle here. So you can see when you close the door, it looks like you have a large door, but when you open it, the opening is kind of cut right in there. So that's something you have to consider, especially getting in the back seat with the front seat all the way back. You see the legroom is limiting, and I'll get in the vehicle with the seats in different positions a little bit later on in the video just to give you an idea of how I fit in here. There's a net pocket on the back of the passenger seat, but not the driver's seat. Now both backs are hard plastics, and there is a fairly significant hump there in the center. So right in here, it's a big difference. It's not like huge or anything, but it is there. And these seats do fold down, and they also have the latch system for car seats. That's pretty much a standard for cars, but right in here you have the latch system. Looking at the back of the vehicle, it has this little shark fin antenna right here, and you can see it's a gloss black, which I think is the only gloss black on the vehicle, is that little antenna. Well, actually right in here as well. So mostly flat black, but this is kind of just to make the glass appear that it's wrapped around the vehicle a little bit for style. Third brake light is here at the top, right in here, and it looks like it's a standard bulb for that. You have a rear wiper. Tail lights are LED, but the turn signal standard bulbs, and the reverse lights are standard bulbs. Reverse lights are down here, surrounded by a reflector. The exhaust is pretty well hidden. Same thing with the backup camera, is in the very center position, which is nice, but it's very low. But having it in the center makes a big difference, in my opinion. Okay, so lifting this up, there's a button, an electronic button. Push the button, it releases it. That's the button right there. There's a mechanical release right here inside that hole. Okay, so here's your cargo area. So if you have all the seats occupied with passengers and you don't fold them down, this is the cargo area. So it's pretty big. The only thing that you have to consider is that the hatch comes down and limits your height. Now there is a solution to help with that, and I'll show you that in a minute. So you have a little tie down there, and a light on the left side, but not on the right side. In this cargo floor, the way it's designed, it has these tie downs. So you have tie downs on all four corners, but it comes right out. So part of the purpose of the tie downs is to to secure the load to keep it from moving around. But in the case of an accident and you're tumbling over, you don't want objects rolling around in the vehicle. So it tying down to something loose doesn't make a whole lot of sense, which maybe I'm missing something. You can point that out in the comment section, but it seems like this would be better off if it was, those tie downs were on a more secure surface. But anyways, this surface, you can pull it like so and move it down to a lower position. So that way you have a lower load floor. So if you need a little bit of extra height, and you know, for whatever reason, you can have that. Now you also have a spare tire and tools under here. And this one also has a net pocket as well, or net, and also his first aid kit here. So yeah, you could take this completely out if you need to. And that's what it looks like with it out. Now there's another feature here with this shade. So this cover keeps people from looking in and keeps the sun from shining on your stuff. Well, when you have it, let's say you don't want to use it, well, you just pull it towards you like so, and it follows this track down like so, so it has a little space to put it. That's the thing about shades. Typically when you take them out, you have to find a spot to put them, and it's kind of inconvenient, but this was a really nice way to solve that problem, and it's real simple. It has a little track for it to follow, and it hides back there and gets out of your way, and when you need it, you just pull it forward like so and snap it in place, and there it is. And then you just hook these strings back up here, and that way it'll lift up and get out of your way while you are, you know, accessing the cargo area. Now you can fold these seats down as well. So you see these right here. These are not tie downs, these are your car seat anchors. But you can fold these seats down one or the other. So you see the split right there, it's a 60-40 split. You can add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space. You can fold them both down and really open it up back here for cargo. There's a locking fuel door, and it's here on the driver's side, and it has a traditional cap, tether, and a place to hang the cap on the inside of the door while you're pumping gas. As long as the key's inside the vehicle, it's in my pocket right now, press and hold the brake and push this button to start it up. The floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now you notice the floor mat hooks in place in two places here on the driver's side. There's the accelerator and brake pedal, and then there's a footrest here on the left side. It's just carpeted just like the rest of the vehicle, so there's no protection for the carpet. Be nice to have that. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood. To raise the hood, there is a latch a little bit to the right of center, so you can see the H right here, right above that, right in there. Reach in, move it to the left, and lift up. So you can see right there is where the catch is. Now it has a little bit of weight to the hood, and it requires a prop to hold it up. And the prop is highly visible here on the left side. It swings up and goes right there, indicated by the arrow. The underside of the hood has some insulation there. There's a seal across the back of the engine compartment right in here. There's also, if you can see back in there, is some insulation on the firewall. The battery is also insulated and easy to get to here on the right side. The exhaust is out the back, right in here, and the intake is here in the front. So you will get a little bit of a buildup of heat there on the firewall. I don't see any heat shielding on the firewall. I only see some on the exhaust. So it has this little cover here, and it looks like it's trying to simulate carbon fiber. Let's go ahead and take this little cover off. It's got some weight to it. Not sure what the purpose of the cover, just for looks, but it is kind of heavy. Then you can see your coil packs underneath, and the valve cover, which is a synthetic material. This vehicle is powered by a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine, dual overhead cam, pumping out 121 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque, paired to a CVT automatic transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So the power windows, the driver's side is one touch down, one touch up. The rest of the windows are, you have to hold them. There's no automatic setting for those. There's your door locks. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with a little pad. Now on your side mirror, you also have the blind spot detection indicator there on the outside of the side mirrors. Manually adjusted seats here for the driver, but it does have a height adjustment in addition to the regular forward, back, and tilt. Here to the left of the steering column, there's a fuse box down here. Then you have your dimmer switch for your interior gauges. Traction control off, default will be on, and this is your lane departure warning system. Has a tilt and a telescoping steering column that you lock in place here. Okay, so getting in the vehicle, I'm 6 feet tall, and the front looks like it's not going to be much of a problem. I don't have to really duck my head really much, and the seat's all the way back now, so shouldn't be a problem at all. And it's really not. This right here is okay. It's not really that bad for a passenger. I do have some limitations on my knees, of course. And see if I can stop the sun from shining in so much. This right here, armrest is at a good height. I'm not feeling too claustrophobic. I can still reach little pockets there. Have access to cup holders and all that stuff here. Now the seat all the way back. Let's see, let's pull it up. Pull it up and let's see. I can put it right about there before my knees start to become a problem with the dash. And let's just see what that looks like in the back, and then I'll put it all the way back. Okay, so that's the minimum amount of space in the front for me. So getting in, this right here looks like I'm gonna have to get around that and duck my head at the same time. Well, we'll see. It's more about this piece than my head. This right here, I have to get around that. So the headroom is fairly decent. So, okay, so with the bare minimum in the front, I have a pretty good amount of legroom back here actually. And the seats are high enough off the ground to where my knees aren't sticking up much. So this is actually much better than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, this is actually pretty nice the way with the seat in that position. Let's try it with the seat all the way back. Okay, so now the seat's all the way back. Now let's see how easy it is to get in. This is a little bit harder. I do have to duck my head because I'm trying to squeeze around. Yeah, ow, yeah. All right, so since this is a hard touch surface, my knees, they don't sink into the soft. Yeah, I basically can't. Have to basically go like that. Straddle the seat. And let's see if we can shut the door. Yeah, so I could straddle the seat as long as there's no center passenger here. And, you know, really get on the nerves of the person in front of me. But yeah, this would probably work. I'm actually surprised. In the headroom, there's a good 2 or 3 inches above my head. So we're good on that. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised. There's no pocket here. There is a pocket here. Nothing here. And so if I got my cell phone, I'm pretty much have to put it in this net pocket, or maybe put it in there. That pocket down there right now for me is inaccessible because my leg's in the way, so that's not going to work. But other than that, just kind of riding down the street or something is fine, really. I got a little light here, got a handle, little hook there. No hook. Just a handle. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's got a hook on this side. There's the hook. All right. Headrest. Adjust with that little piece there. So getting out with the seat all the way back like this, it is hard to get in and out. I just kind of have to contort myself a little bit to get in and out. But I could do it. And I'm actually more comfortable than I thought. Once I get in place, it's not so bad. So getting in the driver's seat with the seat all the way back should be no problem here. All right, so yeah, got the seat all the way back. Let's go ahead and put it all the way down. All right, so yeah, this is nice. Go ahead and adjust the, see the articulation of the steering wheel here. That's good. Do have some limitations on the knees, but if I line up my hip, my knee, and the foot with the accelerator, there's still some room here, so that's good. It's not getting in the way like some other vehicles I pointed out. Does have the heated seats as well here in the front. All right, so checking out the inside in a little bit more detail here. The steering wheel is a leather wrapped steering wheel, and it's soft to the touch, has a little bit of a give to it. The thickness is good. There's no particular simulated texturing or anything. It's kind of smooth. Here on the right side is your cruise control, so you can turn it on, set, resume, and cancel here. These buttons correspond with the screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. Here on the left side is your volume for your radio. Change through your stations or your audio tracks, whatever you're playing at the moment. And then your Bluetooth controls, answer, hang up, mode is your audio source, and then your voice recognition system there. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right for your front and rear. Turn signals on the left, but you also have your headlight controls. You have off, automatic, parking, and headlights. Okay, so here's your gauges. Very simple, but looking pretty good. They're easy to focus on. Has the black background with the white lettering, crisp and easy to read and understand for the most part. RPMs here on the left with your engine coolant temperature. On the right side is your speedometer. It kind of looks like a clock face in a way. And it has the kilometers per hour there in the center, miles per hour on the outside, and then your fuel gauge there at the bottom. And has a little indicator next to the fuel pump letting you know which side your fuel door is on, which is nice little arrow there. Okay, so this screen here in the center, you can see it has a digital speedometer, distance to empty there at the top as far as fuel, what gear you're in. At the bottom, it's showing the odometer, which is 19 miles, but on the left side it says 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's quite a bit colder than that outside. That's supposed to be your outside temperature, but I guess the sun is shining right on the sensor. It's like 40 degrees right now. So I guess, you know, as you're driving around, it'll be more accurate. But right here, just sitting in the sun, I guess it does skew the results there. But using these buttons, remember these buttons here, that's pages, selection, and OK. So we can cycle through pages here at the top, make selections with the up and down arrows, and then we hit the OK for the one we want. There's your settings. And for me, the digital speedometer would be the default. So there's a little bit of more stuff you could do with the center screen, but none of that you have to go in there. It's just there in case you need it. Here's your push button start. And the touch screen. Now the touch screen, I'm noticing on the camera, you can see it has quite a bit of glare. But in person, it's not a big deal. It doesn't, you do see some glare at a certain angles, but it doesn't obscure what you're seeing like it does on the camera. So let's get over here so you can see. So you notice it's really integrated into the dash well. It looks like it's on the dash instead of in the dash, which is kind of interesting, but it doesn't seem like it's too popped out. It does kind of have that tacked on tablet look, but it just seems to work a little bit better than some. It is a little low. I think they could have raised it a little bit more, and maybe, but you know, it's still good. It's there in the center. It looks symmetrical and it looks nice. So right now we're on the home screen. So you have a split between your radio, clock, and then you have different options here. So let's go to the radio. So you have your presets there, and then your channels. And go back to your home screen with a little house button. Now you notice it does have physical buttons here at the bottom as well. We can go to all menus. Phone, driving info, you have your blue link. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, once you plug in your device, you'll be able to access those, but they are showing up here on the menu. Let's go to the Nav menu, unavailable. You will need to add that at the dealership. So it is upgradable to have navigation. And there's different media sources. So when we go here, that's your radio. But there's different media sources, but it's not going to show anything because we don't have anything plugged in. It does have a USB port, does have the ability to play through Bluetooth, stuff like that. But none of that is paired, so this is all we're able to see right now. And of course the map and navigation, these are not going to show up because they're not installed. Alright, so you do have a setup menu here. We can go into the set up different things, your sound, your audio, and your display, like say if you want a background, that kind of thing. You even have settings for your phone projection, which is your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But it's a neat little touch screen. It's not overly complicated. I really like this big clock right here. That's really nice. Now you notice it does have a clock here. In case you want to replace this with something else, you still have a clock here. But I like that nice big clock. That's really nice, especially if you're focused on time. You know, running late for work or whatever. Now it does have a physical volume knob, tune through the stations here. So you can cycle through. In this case, it's cycling through the presets, it appears. No, these are channels. So it's actually going through the channels sequentially on the satellite radio. It goes quite quick. There on the right side, and then your volume here on the left. Here's your climate control, and it does have automatic. So here's your temperature. Your fan speed is here on the right side. Where you want the air to blow, recirculate the air, all that kind of stuff. It does have a little screen to kind of indicate what's going on. Front and rear defroster buttons as well. So down here, this is where you'll find a USB charger, USB input, and a 12-volt power supply. Kind of like the old cigarette lighter style. Here's your shifter, and let's go ahead and put it in reverse. So you can see the backup camera, which is in the center position. Not super detailed, but it does give you the ability to, you know, kind of see what's behind you. You're not reading license plates or anything, any fine high resolution details. It does have the active guidelines, which will let you know the direction in which you're going, basically, and also, you know, your minimum distance there. And it has the ability to limit your speed ratio using this right here, the setting. No paddle shifters or anything like that. You just put it right here in the drive, put it to the left, and then you can downshift basically if you need to. And it has 3-stage heated seat buttons here. So high, medium, and low. Then your drive mode. So as you turn this, you have normal, sport, and snow. And that's the different drive modes that it has. Here's your handbrake, parking brake, cup holders, all hard plastic, of course. And this is actually a little bit soft. It's more like a hard rubber soft. So it's not really like super soft. It's kind of like a hard, I don't know if you can, how to explain it, but it does give you some softness to your arm. This lifts up and it kind of spring-loaded up so it doesn't slam back down on you. And there's the compartment. And it's basically just a little storage compartment. Nothing special there that I could tell. And this is fixed. It doesn't slide forward and back or anything like that. Rear view mirror has the manual day and night mode. You have some tap lights, standard bulbs it looks like. Interior lights could be turned all on, all off, or on with the door here in the center position. This is where you have your emergency roadside assistance type buttons here. This is for your sunroof. We'll get to that in a minute. Have these little lights there and there, and the visors have mirrors and they have little covers, little clip. They do slide out, and they're like a vinyl type material, which is easy to clean. Basically the same thing on the passenger side. Okay, so let's look at the sunroof. The sunroof has a shade that covers 100% of the light, which is nice. Open it up. Let's go and tilt it. Move it back. Stops there. Push it again and goes a little bit further back. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So it does have the pillars back there, which is going to get in your way. A little bit on the headrests. But all vehicles have some sort of blind spot. So it's something to get used to. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. All right. There you go. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Parkway Hyundai here in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'll have their contact information in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.